You've reached the practicing Christian. And now, why a male is not a man. And especially not a Christian man. A male is the raw material out of which a boy grows into manhood. He's born with all he needs to do this. And if he's fortunate, he'll have mentors and friends who can help guide him further into Christian manhood. How does a young male get to manhood? One of the first things he does is learn to bond with other boys. And from this he learns to bond with other men. If all his work, study, and recreation is in mixed groups, male and female, he needs to find groups of boys and later men within these mixed groups or outside of them where he learns the bonding experience. Now, street gangs exist in part because of the shortage of good all-male groups. And TrailLifeUSA.com is one good alternative to the formerly Boy Scouts. He also learns how to deal with the sort of women that he, as a boy and later as a man, wants to work and do business with, love and marry, appreciate for their healing gifts, and so forth. Parents and friends can help put him in touch with such women, and girls emerging as such women. If they want to arm wrestle with him, rather than bake him a birthday cake, that just means he has to keep on looking a bit more, or at least more deeply. He must remind himself that boys seeking to become men and girls who want to become women all have to sort through the different choices that life offers, and to ask himself before he takes on a new friend, in a job or club, for example, is this person someone who will help me become the sort of man I want to be? Parents can help, but not always. Pointing a lad towards politically connected or powerful people may be what they think is good for their son. But that doesn't mean the man is a gentleman, a Christian, and not violent or abusive, or any of the other perversions of manhood. With care, he'll learn to choose the companions who will help him become accountable to God, to his family, to his country, and to any woman whom he vows to take as his wife. Anytime you're with your wife and your children are present, make sure they see and hear how you, a loving man, a strong, loving man, treats his woman. Even if she's grouchy, whether she's happy, worried, excited, angry, depressed, whatever, you are her man at all times. And there may be children who make good critics nearby, watching that play that you're both in and reviewing it carefully. Not all marriages last. If you're a dad, stay with your wife, his mother, until your son is grown. If you're absent, his chances of getting where he and you would like him to be as a man will plummet really fast. And if it's a daughter you leave behind, remember they'll be easy targets for older men if you haven't been there. You may think you're no prize as a father. Maybe you aren't. It doesn't matter. Your son will follow and copy you, in most cases remember the best he sees in you, and perhaps forget the worst. It doesn't matter. You'll always be his hero. No one can take your place. This is why there are rarely any training manuals for kids to become men. They learn and take away the best they can find in their dads, not from a pamphlet. It may seem that there's a lot of time to do this. Not so. You may be dead from an accident or whatever within a month. If your son is 9, he could be living, working, or studying on the other side of the country in 8 years, or in Afghanistan. Find a place or situation where you, as a growing boy, or your son, if you're a dad, learn to take responsibility. Taking other kids camping is one way. Teach him this. You, as a boy, leading other boys on a camping trip, are responsible for matches, permits, food, water, Band-Aids, directions, thunderstorms, spiders, loneliness, and so forth. No excuses, no shifting blame to others, and always be kind to them. It's good practice for marriage. If your wife fails at something, your job is to build her spirit and to help her approach whatever it was with confidence when she tries it again. And always, always be kind to her. Whoops, I'm getting into Christian manhood, as in Colossians 3:19, but that's okay. Christian manhood is learned from Christian men, watching them, listening to them, talking with their spouses and kids, and reading everything in the Bible that trains us for peace, thoughtfulness, marriage, mercy, war, thrift, sacrifice, love, and fatherhood. Use Deuteronomy 6, especially verses 20 to 25. Now rewrite this as you wish, and you teach your sons. Not some Sunday school teacher doing it. They need to hear your faith from you. Be sure to train your son to do one of the most awesome and difficult things a man can do. Let him see you say to your wife, "I'm sorry about that, honey. I really blew it. You were right, and I should have paid more attention to you." It takes a tough, confident, and loving husband to fess up like that, and a wise one. In many families, the deep wisdom is strongest in the wife and mother. All of these ideas are to help a boy grow into a lean, meaning uncluttered, focused, meaning on God in Christ, and productive, meaning of love and goodness, practicing Christian man. He may ask you one day how he can tell that he's become or is becoming a man. There are several simple indications. One is that when he wants something that costs cash money, he's able to save his money and not whine to get you to lend him the balance, or the whole thing. Every bailout you do will trap him deeper in the mire of dependency. Another is to say, when you like a girl, a woman, and you never lie to her, especially to take advantage of her, even if it makes her blazing angry to hear the truth, then you're a man. Or you'll know you're getting to be a man when you won't lie for any of your friends, even your best friend. You can not only get trapped in legal and financial trouble if you do lie for him, but worse. Soon after you lie for him, he'll drop you as a friend. Why? He'll know that you can't be trusted to always tell him the truth. If you're a liar one time, you're sure to be a liar again. It's not just a moral question. Fakery sucks the heart from our souls, and many men have found that it's difficult, if not impossible, to lie to others without lying to God and ourselves as well. If your son argues such points with you, don't argue back. Just tell him to quietly watch other boys he knows. He'll see soon enough how men differ from perpetual adolescence. Ask him regularly to invite some of his friends over for lunch or dinner. Just have an ordinary meal together. Sometimes a kid on the streets or the playground seems exciting and daring, but what happens when it's time to take the dishes to the sink? If your son says grace, does his friend say, "Woohoo, listen to little Jesus boy here"? He'll learn much about fun kids from seeing how they act in his own home. And if grace abounds, the boy who's his guest will learn some things too. That's enough. You get the idea. Learning to be a man isn't like learning calculus. Give your son or your sons the gift of your own life, your own struggles, your own brokenness, and the redemption you've found through Jesus. They're all the roadmap that he or they can use. Serve them. Be the king's right arm.